All right, mic's going, my hair looks like hair. Hello and welcome back. I know it's been a while, but don't worry. We're going to cover a number of topics today, from a 2022 wrap-up to looking forward to 2023 and how I've been preparing for next year's, or this year's, racing season. So 2022, as a whole, looking back at it now, it's been gone for a couple of months, it was pretty fantastic. Some highlights were riding the entirety of Sager Road at the Barry-Roubaix, or catching back on to a group that I had been dropped from at the Dirty 30. Also, being strong enough to ride in the front groups at the Frankenmuth Fondo, the Fast 50, and the Rusty Fish. Later in the year, falling in love again with cyclocross. And lastly, the cherry on top was getting that medal from the MGRS race series and having my name on it and having it be this really cool cutout medal with a T and then a D. I mean, the entire season I didn't have any mechanicals, I didn't have any crashes. The only negative thing that happened was that I did have a little bit of cramping, which played a role in most of the early season racing. Looking forward to 2023. First off, this gentleman named Josh has asked me a couple of times to make a video on training, and I would love to do that, but the thing is I don't actually know what's coming next. That's a roundabout way of saying that I've hired a coach to help me with my training. Admittedly, it feels a little bit dirty to say that. I felt like I represented a group of cyclists who were approaching racing on their own and trying to figure it out themselves, and I did that. And now I'd like to improve beyond that point, if possible. There were multiple reasons that I thought getting a coach would be helpful for me. The first was I was finding myself injured at least a month or more out of each season. The idea is that a coach would help me to train properly and advise me to not become injured. Additionally, I consume so much cycling content. I found myself changing my training philosophy almost daily, definitely weekly. Now, I don't have to worry about that. I still consume just as much cycling content, but I really leave all the decision making up to my coach. The third reason is that I needed some accountability. When I was my own coach and I set a training plan, if I had an hour to ride that day and there was also a TV show on that I really liked, not a big deal for me to skip the workout and go watch the TV show. Now that someone else is also looking at, reviewing, and prescribing training for me, if I don't do that workout, it'd be embarrassing to admit that I went and did something like watch television versus doing the workout. For now, I just want to leave my coach anonymous because I wouldn't want my performance to reflect on their coaching ability. I could still suck even though they're a great coach. So now that that's out of the way, I've been training a lot. I've been trying to do at least 8 to 10 hours per week. One of the things that I learned was that FTP wasn't as important of a number as I thought it was. I'm currently at an FTP setting of about 238 watts. I'll tell you, Zwift and Trainer Road ramp tests always put me between 250 and 260, but then when I would do a workout based on that number, I would almost always fail. So how did I come up with 238 watts? My coach prescribed me a workout which included a 20-minute test in there, and at the time, when I completed that 20 minutes and I got the number of 238 watts, could I have actually held that number for an hour? I don't think so. Now it's been a couple of months, and could I do that power for an hour now? I'd be pretty confident in saying yes, and maybe even for more than an hour. I guess what I'm trying to say is don't take your FTP too seriously. Moving on, I also had a bike fit at Fit Me in Ann Arbor with Jess. This was something that I went into a little bit skeptical, like maybe she'll say, wow, this is perfect, you've already got it nailed, never mind, here's a refund, we'll see you later. What actually happened is she changed everything except I think my right cleat was in the right position on my shoe. Every other thing that could be modified or adjusted or unbolted was. Not only is the bike setup that I've got now more comfortable and more powerful, I've also learned about what size bike might be best for me, what kind of reach and stack, and when you get into all of that when looking at a new bike. And that was important because I was looking for a new road bike and ultimately decided on one largely based on the geometry that would fit me best. And that's how I ended up with a new Canyon road bike. The idea here was to get the most value for money for a carbon road bike, and that's why I ended up back at Canyon again. And honestly, I got really lucky with purchasing my Canyon gravel bike because the geometry just works. It's the right size for me, which means the road bike is also similar and also the right size. I've also tried to upgrade my camera equipment slowly. I've got a fancy light here so I won't be so dark in some of my videos, and now I've messed it up and it's going to be different from the way the video was previously. I've also got some new microphone equipment to hopefully make the audio a little bit clearer, a little bit better. I'd really like to put together a well-documented 2023 race season. I don't know exactly which races I'll be participating in yet, but I do know that I want to participate in the Michigan Gravel Race Series. I've also signed up for the I Love Gravel Racing Series, which is a little bit different. Any gravel race counts. Outside of gravel, I'll be doing the Michigan Cyclocross Series as well. That's my plan at this time. I really started this YouTube channel to document progression as I became a better cyclist, hopefully, and as I raced more. Now, I'll admit, I expected to be faster at the start, and it was humble beginnings, but I think that I'm on the right path to improving. So thanks for watching. I really am looking forward to this 2023 season, and hopefully we'll see you out there.